Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Today we speak about Palestine, about its pain, its history, its resistance, and about the Global Flotilla, a mission of humanity. But before we talk about the flotilla, we need to take a step back and look at the roots of this conflict, because Palestine is not just a headline, not just a place on the map. Palestine is a story of faith, a story of resilience, and a story of humanity itself. Jerusalem, the holy city, for Muslims, for Christians, and for Jews. The Dome of the Rock still shines like a golden crown. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre holds centuries of prayers. The Wailing Wall stands as a memory of an ancient people. For centuries, people lived together, cultures met, faiths shared space. But then, colonial powers came, promises were made, the infamous Balfour Declaration in 1917, and suddenly, the land of Palestine was promised to others, without the consent of its own people. This was the seed, the beginning of the Nakba, the catastrophe. In 1948, the world changed for Palestinians. Hundreds of villages destroyed, more than 700,000 people forced to leave their homes, entire families carrying only what they could hold in their hands. Children walked barefoot, women carried their babies under the burning sun, men looked back at their homes one last time, before everything was taken away. That was the Nakba, and it never ended. Because every generation since then has lived under occupation, exile, or siege. The wars followed quickly: 1948, the War of Independence for Israel, the War of Catastrophe for Palestine; 1967, the Six-Day War, Jerusalem occupied, Gaza occupied, the West Bank occupied; 1973, the Yom Kippur War, more blood, more displacement, more division. And every year after that, more land taken, more walls built, more checkpoints, more settlements, more restrictions. Palestinians lived under curfews, unable to travel freely, unable to work freely, unable to breathe freely. And Gaza became something even worse. Gaza, a small strip of land, only 41 kilometers long, 10 kilometers wide, but home to more than 2 million people. And yet, surrounded by walls, surrounded by blockades, surrounded by warships and drones. No airport, no seaport, no freedom to leave, no freedom to enter. Children grow up seeing tanks instead of playgrounds. Families live with only a few hours of electricity. Hospitals run without medicine. Clean water is a luxury. Imagine this: 2 million human beings, living in what experts call the world's largest open-air prison. This is Gaza. And yet, despite the suffering, despite the destruction, Gaza resists. Gaza survives. Gaza continues to breathe, even when the world holds its breath. And this is where the Global Flotilla came in. When governments stayed silent, when leaders turned their backs, ordinary people from across the world stood up. From Spain, from Italy, from Turkey, from Ireland, from Norway, from South Africa, from Malaysia, from Pakistan, from America, from everywhere, they came together with one simple mission: to break the siege of Gaza. Not with guns, not with tanks, but with boats, filled with food, medicine, and hope. At the harbor, the scene was powerful: ships lined up, flags of different countries flying high, side by side with the Palestinian flag. Volunteers embraced each other, tears in their eyes, determination in their hearts. A man held the microphone, his voice strong, his message clear: we are not politicians, we are not soldiers, we are simply human beings, and we cannot stand by while Gaza starves. The crowd erupted in applause, chanting, "Free Palestine, end the siege, free Gaza now." It was more than a protest, it was humanity in motion. But as always, Israel did not respond with humanity. They responded with warships. They responded with bullets. They responded with drones in the sky. Some flotilla ships were stopped, some were attacked, volunteers were beaten, some even killed. Boxes of food and medicine were confiscated, aid never allowed to reach Gaza. The world watched, some with anger, some with silence. But here is the truth: the flotilla was never a failure. Because even though the ships were stopped, the message sailed across the seas. The message reached every home, every screen, every heart that still beats with justice. The Global Flotilla became a symbol that Palestine is not alone, a symbol that people of conscience, from every nation, every religion, every color, are ready to risk their lives for justice. In Spain, people carried their flag and said, "We are with Gaza." In Italy, they marched on the streets holding banners of peace. In Norway, they raised funds and sent volunteers. In South Africa, they remembered their own struggle against apartheid, and stood with Palestine. In Pakistan, people prayed and raised their voices, sending their sons and daughters to join the flotilla. This was humanity. This was the world coming together. And when we see the visuals, our hearts tremble. Jerusalem, shining with its golden dome, a city of prophets, turned into a city of checkpoints. Gaza, filled with rubble, smoke rising from broken buildings, children with dust on their faces, holding onto each other. In the historical photos, sepia-toned, black and white, refugees walking with their belongings in 1948, mothers holding their babies in tents, fathers digging graves with bare hands. All of these images, past and present, tell one truth: this is not just about Palestine. This is about humanity. And so, when we speak about the Global Flotilla, we are not only speaking about ships, or supplies, or aid. We are speaking about courage. We are speaking about conscience. We are speaking about the belief that one small act can challenge great injustice. Even if the flotilla did not reach Gaza, its message reached the world. And that message is clear: humanity cannot be silenced. Palestine will never stand alone. So my brothers and sisters, let us remember, let us share, let us raise our voices. Because the struggle of Palestine is the struggle of humanity itself. And as long as there is one voice left to say, "Free Palestine," hope will never die.